brand, finds the brands and then puts them into the stores, all that kind of stuff. I mean, brands like Ghost Energy, Sesh, like these chew things or whatever, stuff like that. All a bunch of different all across the board. And he said a lot of like Walmart's going to continue to lean into where the lowest prices. Still, I mean, that's always been their thing. Right. And he's like, they're going to be eating things. They can eat it in some areas because they have good margins in other areas. So they're going to figure out what they can do there. But he said it's not. I mean, from his whole, nobody's freaking out. It's the uncertainty. Again, I think what we talked about, the uncertainty with right. The markets hate uncertainty. I like uncertainty in some areas because it feels like it's something
new. You like volatility. You like volatility.
I like volatility. Yeah. So I don't know. That was an interesting topic this morning when I stopped and get coffee and I saw him.
This is interesting. Well, all right. Let's take a look at these markets here. How about gold? Or, have you seen the price of crude, Michael? Take a peek at that.
Yeah. Texas isn't happy about this guy they voted in right now. He's not helping the landmen make their money.
Yeah, Midland, Odessa.
But us common folk, well, not me, because I have a EV vehicle and I'm saving the planet one less gas filler upper at a time.
God. He's saving the
planet.
I ask for no straws too, Andre. When I get a drink, I don't want a straw.
I do that as well. It tastes better without a straw.
Fact. Unnecessary. Exactly.
Here we go. Oh, that was a little bit of a. What just happened there? We are. That's true. 100 points.
It's going to come down to where we're back to riding horses again, horses or donkeys, and I'm going to open up a store called Donkeys R Us where you can pick your own ass.
There you go.
Where's the drum?
Yeah.
I'm serious. This is serious stuff, man.
Yes, just got hit with a 25-point smack right there in this 5-minute candle.
Yeah.
What was that? Did something hit? Nasdaq got hit with a 100-point smackdown right there. This is normal. This is the new normal now.
We're just kind of glued around this 5,000 SPX, that white line right here. We haven't been able to follow through the next. We might do it now because I'm not doing it this time. But
keep out the vol.
In a good range around there. Yep, here we go.
Keep out the volatility. 50.18 now 50.17s. This is the look at the 5 minutes. Got to hold this if it wants to hold that 5-minute range. I'm looking at the ES right now. This is the lower end of that 5-minute for the last
order filled
30 minutes or so. Last half hour we've been. This is the bottom end of that range. 5-minute chart.
Bottom 50. Value as well. Value low 50.16.
Right here, Hogue.
I think it's
got to hold this.
Buy here.
Volume hasn't picked up though. It's moving. I think it's moving because it's a thin book, but there's not really many orders getting filled here.
Order filled.
It's pretty consistently low. So like Jack was saying, maybe this is the buy. Let's see.
Ooh, they try to pop it there. They're putting a cap on this thing. Our 50.13s now.
Oh, man.
It's got to hold on tight right now. Yes. Nasdaq as well. 17,365. Lower end of this range on 5-minute for the last half hour. What's up, Jack? 64%.
Well,
74% short. ESMP.
If this follows through, it's frustrating. It's been like tough to get chopped up on these other candles around it. But let's see. If it goes a little bit lower than here, that's kind of broken out.
All right, we have tilt starting to grow to the short side here in the ES and NASDAQ, seeing 75% short in the ES right now, 72% short in the NASDAQ as we start creeping lower here.
Heading back towards the opening range, which remains the low of the session.
What's that price, Hogue?
We can expect a burst of volume soon, I think.
Yeah.
S&P top of the opening range is 50,002. I mean, 5,002. 5,002. Low of it, 49.82 and 3/4. It's a huge opening range.
All right.
Seems to be rejecting value.
Shorts are running here.
Yeah, shorts are running here. 77% short. 77% short ES right now.
We got everybody in the sister short. And S&P
and micros
and
or
NASDAQ.
minis? You look at micros or minis?
I'm looking at both. I just kind of put them together. round them off. When I say numbers, guys, they're never exact with anything in life. So don't ever hold me to exact numbers.
Push down this
Nothing
5,000
finite.
level.
Huge.
76% short.
Yeah, watch this. Jack, do we take that long trying to play the range or
No. Because like all I wanted all day was to get short below the 50-30s, but it makes it really hard. Like I said, we were glued here. Had to kind of play the highs of the range. Oh, that's frustrating.
Here we go. Beneath 5,000 now in the ES. 49.95 trades. Shorts are getting paid. A little flush of Cito. Gold rolling over now. Crude starting to sell off. Dow selling off. Nasdaq
Order filled.
down. I do the math on the fly. Call it 250 points in the last 7 minutes. More selling in the Nasdaq. More selling in the ES now.
Back inside those opening ranges.
We got. Seeing anything, Eddie? We were chilling
nothing here, but
we were chilling for 30 minutes. MP got on here.
There's a leak, an oil spill on the Keystone Pipeline.
Oh.
Okay.
Nothing big though. I'm getting nothing behind it.
Order
Just
filled.
Sort of a news flash here.
Right. Aaron asked a question in the chat. How long will the markets be like this? MP, how long will the markets be like this?
Until you're not solvent. What do they say? They will They will be irrational and longer than you can be solvent. How about that? Just remember that.
Solvent, yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah. That's why they always trade for tomorrow line. I have it sitting right on the wall over there. I'm gonna move my camera, but it's right over there. Always trade for tomorrow. The markets can be irrational longer than you can be solvent.
All right, 49.90.
You know, I got a question too.
Go ahead, Eddie.
You know, markets were dead at one point prior. Now we've got these markets moving, giving us a lot of opportunity.
Order filled.
I'm sort of happy to see this movement, this volatility. You know, like to know why some people don't want to see this.
Oh, Eddie, you know us traders. We just like to bitch. Traders just like to complain.
That's really what it is.
That was the answer I was looking for. That is the answer I was looking for. I didn't want to say it.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Order filled.
You know, gosh, I'm trading for them. Dead days were like, come on, man. Something's got to happen. You know, fast markets, you'd blow 2 hours away and be like, wow, didn't even seem like 2 hours. Boy, we were busy. You know.
We're selling here. Heads up.
Progressive.
Yes. 49.89. They tried popping that thing. The sellers came in and just smacked it down. And look out below. Crude selling off here. 56.21 now. Down about 80 cents in the last 20 minutes.
People are asking in the chat, are we allowed to trade?
And S&Ps.
Yeah, we're nowhere near that 5%. Yeah, we're nowhere near that 5%. So you guys don't have to worry about that right now.
The crazy thing in the last 2 days. There's these huge moves percentage wise, but then like we end the day scratched the first day. Yesterday we sold off at the end.
It's crazy.
Right.
I mean, right now we're only 14 points from settlement in the ES. There's 20, 23. It changes every second.
Yes, it does. You gotta give it to the markets. They've been holding up. I know the 7% circuit breaker. Markets have held up. We've got maybe down 6% the most we've got, and we've held up. I think it takes something.
If you're trading the Russell or not.
Oh, well, there's that. Yep. Shout out to all the Russell traders. All right, ES trying to figure out this 5,000 level. About 4 points beneath it. Not seeing any headlines just yet. MP in the house. Anything on your mind, MP? What have you been tweeting lately? Anything catching your mind? Catching your eye on the social media?
Talking some smack. We were supposed to do on Twitter, I guess. I see Elon doing it all the time, saying off the wall stuff. Wake up in the morning and think, what weird things can I say right now?
What's your follower count up to?
Order filled.
How many followers do you have?
16,000 now, Dre.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Look at him smirk. He can't even say it with a straight face. Because
I know it's funny. It's stupid.
Hilarious.
Dre, the whole thing. I've never spent a dime on him. No buying.
I was just going to ask how many for it, but I believe it.
Yeah, I know. There's other guys out there I have pretty good feeling pay for their stuff. I get in my And just to tell you, there are people out there that do this because I get in my DMs all the time. Hey, helping so and so. They don't really say who they're helping, but I'm helping another, and they're pumping up their, and I can do it to you for you too.
I'd love to see what your DMs look like. I'd also like to see what your feed looks like. Just Wild West.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of the poor Russell, if we go to my charts real quick, the Russell 2000 right now where we're at is flat. These are weekly bars. Is flat going back to September of 2018. That is painful.
What is? Let's see.
The Russell 2000 is flat going back to 2018, August, where my cursor is right there.
Why is that significant, Jack? Russell 2000.
It means if you invested in the Russell in 2018 in August, you'd be flat. However many years it is later, 7.
Yeah. So here's my take. Why after 08, people started thinking, oh, just buy indexes. Not 08, sorry, 2020, COVID. They were like individual stocks, and everybody got wiped. A lot of people got wiped out on individual stocks and all that. Long story short,
order rejected.
I always heard from people like, oh, just get indexes, just get in Russell, S&P, and just never let it go. But I'm like, if everybody's getting into indexes, and it's like, is there a correction? Like the Russell right here, you would have had that great advice, Jimmy, your neighbor, and you had it for however many years. You had it for however many years, and then now you're mowing your lawn. You look over the fence, you're like, dude, I'm scratched. I'm like, thanks, So I think when everybody thinks something's a sure bet, like indexes, and then don't get me wrong, I own SPYs and TripQs, but just for some reason, I don't know, when everybody's saying that's the area to put all your money in and quit picking stocks. And I heard that after, what was it, 02? I think 03? No, I was 2022, 2020. That's when I started, like the millennials, everybody's just saying, my nephew was saying it, just put it in an index. Like, yeah, okay.
It was all good.
It was all good. I mean, you did really. I'll push back a little bit. That's just the Russell. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq have done quite well over that period. The Russell, as Dave points out in chat, I think he's right. Private equity has taken away their best companies, and their high flyers move up to the S&P 500.
Yeah. I know it's worked to a point, but like now everybody's saying, like I didn't hear in 2010 anybody saying, "Hey, put it in an index like ETFs or anything like that." They were saying put it in, like it's still individual stock. This is just my take on this. Now all of a sudden, $6
trillion changed that.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh, the easy thing is just put it into TripQs and S&P. That's SPYs.
I miss those days, Michael.
What? Where everybody's
up and to the right for the 401k. Actually, but no, for trading purposes, this is what's up. All right, we got more selling coming in here. It is all right. We got this is looking like it's that orderly sell-off thing that we've been seeing.
Just took out the low of the session in the S&P is low of the opening range. We have not done that yet in the Nasdaq, however.
This has orderly sell-off all written all over it again. It's grind lower, grind lower, grind lower. You want to call it a grind. Obviously, we're still looking at 100-point candles. But this is what the feel of the markets have been. Jay, you got any prices you're looking at? You've been to gold. You've been to ES.
Yeah, I'm looking for this opening range. I'm looking for a long here. Like I was saying, we did get what looks like some momentum to the downside, but it looked this way to the upside as well, right? And we came back into this range. So I'm looking to see whether or not this opening range low holds here, this 49.80 area, where we kind of just bounced from, just to trade right back into the range if we do so right now. If that volume continues to pick up, then I don't, then we want to jump on that train, but I don't see really any continuation right now. We didn't get a headline, right, that I'm aware of. So this kind of just feels like empty price action.
To both upside and downside?
Yeah, right. The long I was in earlier, right? I had to take it off because we didn't get any follow through. And then the same thing to the downside here, where we're seeing price go, but there's really no volume behind this move.
I mean, tilt stage has stayed short.
800 sorry, MP. 800 bid at 49.81 in the S&P just stepped up.
Yeah. Order filled.
Nice catch. 49.81 bid 800 times. Last trade 49.92. King Caesar in the chat says, "Here comes the boom."
Jay, we might get that chance in gold to get the IB high again.
Here comes the boom.
78.
DMX song.
79.
How about I give you a little boom shakalaka?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Starting gold. Gold down $20 in the last 40 minutes. A little bit of a pop here. Yes. Yeah, of course. What do you got?
How many counts are you trading with right now? 1, 2, 5, or too many? Something like that.
Whole is, look at that. What is it again, MP? How many accounts?
I don't know. I want to see how many people are trading one. I want to see how many people are trading one. I did a post.
I do.
A couple days ago. These are the traders that I have the most respect for in their approach in the markets, especially these markets. I get hungry eyes too. I did it in my early days, lost $30,000 trading accounts, hungry eyes, chasing the money, all that kind of, how fast can I get it? But if you're slow and steady, that wins the race. It wins the race over and over again. I've seen it over and over again. And you're going to have these flashy, I have got 20 accounts and look at 20, I made 1,000. So I'm actually up 20,000. No, they can't really trade 20,000 in a day. So they copy trade, which is fine. I just don't like copy trading. And like, why do you offer it? Because I let you be a product of free will and you can do what you want when you come here within the confines of our rules. So that being said, I want to see how many people have a 1.
All right,
1, 2, 5.
Up. Yep. Again, Eddie, correct me if I'm wrong. New tariffs kick in in about an hour. If I understand that correct?
Yeah. Central Time 11. Yeah, 12 Eastern. Okay. Something that, remember the article that came over the wire about China issuing a warning to its students here in the United States. 2 more warnings have hit the wire here about U.S. travel to its citizens. So, I mean, that's
what
very mysterious thing. You never know. I mean, it doesn't sound good. Let's put it that way.
They're just talking.
You think it's a bluff?
Well, I mean, I would hope so. We wouldn't want anything to happen to anybody that's over here. I don't care who they are.
No, this trade happens. Yeah.
Like China's trying to scare them.
Yeah, I think maybe you're right there.
Look at, we just popped about an 80-point pop here in the Nasdaq. Kiss overnight VWAP 17,202. Now trading 17,280. ES turning around about 12 points now, trading 5,000 evens. Got that pull up here, MP.
Jay was talking. He was talking about that break in the S&P and the Nasdaq being kind of hollow, and that is proving true right now. Back into the opening range, looked below it in the S&Ps, didn't take it out in the Nasdaq. Both of them back above that opening range.
Yeah. What is
Somebody's in?
Yeah, I know.
I'm long. I've been long 4 lots. I've been long 4 lots in the S&P since 49.87. I got 2 of them.
Really?
Nice.
You bought 87s. Oh, I know why. I know exactly why. 74%.
Still was wildly tilty. When I see it wildly tilty one direction, the minority of the minority is they were paid, but they paid them. Good. I waited on that one.
That's the trade I was just looking for, MP. I was going to ask you. I know you came on earlier in the week and said you put on a banger of a trade, $7,000 trade in the S&Ps.
Look at this
8,700. I traded a little bit more out of the day. I lost 2,500 yesterday. I don't know. I'm not supposed to be trading. The team, everybody at work's like, quit trading. You need to focus on the company. Like Elon Musk going back to Tesla.
He's a trader. He's a trader. I mean, all right, MP, recap the trade. You make everyone else do it. Recap the trade, MP.
It sold off. It was very tilty one direction. I learned to watch for when people lean from John Hoagland. And then I watched the markets, and then we had these levels right here, the top step. Here, I'll make my screen bigger.
Oh, let's break it down,
John
Madden.
Are you flat now, Michael?
I have a 1 guy on. That's unrealized 1,200. So I got 2,600 realized. I mean, I'll get flat right now. So that's 4,000 right there. There you go. So do you see this level right here, this purple level? I don't know what it's called, but John, you put these levels together. So this is a Johnny trade. I call it a Johnny trade because it's he puts these levels together, and then he also is the one who taught me when you see the whites of their eyes, and the whites of their eyes was the tilt concept. When the whites of their eyes, the side of the pit, it's too long or too short. There's always a pretty good balance in the markets. Where's price discovery? Blah blah blah. It pauses right here. And then eventually, every now and then, it gets a little bit like there's way more people long than short, or way more short than long. And we share that data with you guys all until that will be going away and being paid for $29 a month here in a couple of weeks underneath an open API as well. So you get an open API and then you get access to Tilt. Open API means you can build your stuff to TopStepX. So that's a different story for a different time. So yeah, but those two things, and then you guys are, I don't know, you guys were talking about it. Coach Jay, you were saying something about it as well.
Oh yeah, we held the low of that opening range in those 80s, and then popped back up.